Hey you guys, welcome to Wind Down Wednesday with Malaya J. I finally made it on set, y'all, and I've been telling y'all for weeks that I was going to record these Wind Down Wednesdays, but we're finally here. So today I'm going to be trying for the first time. I have a Dark Horse Cabernet. Is that how you say that? Cabernet? Yeah. So I have a Dark Horse Cabernet. This was gifted to me by my stepmother because she said she didn't like it because it's dry, but I love dry wine. I don't know why I love a dry red. So I'm going to be tasting that today. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it ain't like super dry because I still do like a little bit of like sweet flavor. And y'all, this is my first week doing Wind Down Wednesday, so I'm like super excited. I'm not as prepared as I would like to be. I did write down a couple of topics. I didn't really take down any notes though, so just bear with me. We're going to work through this first little filming and, you know, we're going to get it done. So let's try this wine. It is a little tart. Ooh. It's a little bit tart, but it's good. I do like it actually. Let me see, let me twirl it and see. Yeah, it's good. Look, I made a nasty face and it said it's good. Alright, so let's hop into this first label, y'all, that I really want to cover. And I think that influencer, like being an influencer these days, is really one of them ones. Like, a lot of people are, you know, faking it till they make it and trying to live up to a certain persona because being an influencer is so popular right now. So like, for example, I think lifestyle influencers are one of the most popular ones. So lifestyle, like being all of the, you know, the luxury, the glitz and glam, like even the hashtag Black Girl Luxury, stuff like that. Like, it's cool and all, like it's really nice. Like, luxury is nice, but I feel like it's starting to put a certain pressure on people because it's something that's hard to live up to. Like, it's easy to go on a vacation or rent out a boat or rent out a nice car or, you know, different little stuff like that and make it look really nice for the internet. But people who are working and just like living their day-to-day lives and feeling like they need to live up to this influencer lifestyle situation, they're having a hard time because they're going into debt. Like, people be going in, I know people personally who done went into credit card debt because they want to go on certain vacations or they want to go out the country and go to Santorini, Greece and stuff like that because it's popular because of these influencers. And I'm not saying that what they're doing is wrong because some of them can actually afford it, but there are people who really cannot afford it that are like on the whole fake it till you make it train, and it's messing people. I'm gonna try not to cuss on this. But it's messing people's lives up, y'all, because like I said, they're really on the fake it till you make it train. So it's just like, rather than, I feel like it also, I want to touch on this too before I move on. I feel like it also makes people ungrateful for what they actually have, like what you have in front of you. You know what I mean? I was watching a sermon from Michael Todd. I really love his sermons, but I was watching a sermon from him. I want to say it was from his series Cuffing Season. And he was just talking about how the best way to devalue something is, or the easiest way to devalue something is by comparing it to something else. And he was like, you'll really love your stuff until you look at somebody else's stuff and now you feel like your stuff is not good enough. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what these labels, especially like being an influencer and stuff like that, is doing to people. Like, it's making people ungrateful for what they already have. It's making people feel like what they have is not enough. So it's like really diminishing people's confidence. Really like, yeah, like really creating a lot more envy too. I was trying to think of a word, like what it's like, what's the word that it's creating between people, but it's creating a lot more envy because people are looking at what someone else has and what they don't have, and they feel like what they have is not enough because they're so busy looking at somebody else's stuff. So, you know, I feel like that's what these labels really do to us. Like, they make us not grateful for what we already have. So rather than just being able to focus on being a person, you know what I mean, like you're a person, normal things that people do, we make mistakes, we learn, we grow, you know what I mean, we take certain experiences that we made mistakes in, and we learn from those, and we grow from those, and we do it at our own pace. Like, nobody's journey is the same, and that's fine. Like, there's literally nothing wrong with that. But due to labels and things like that, it really makes us feel like, okay, well, it's not okay for me to just be a normal person and make mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, like, I'm a woman, so I'm gonna speak on women, because I don't really know exactly how men feel. Maybe one of these days I'll bring a man in and they can give their perspective, but I know with being a female, you're always taught, like, to be a good girl, or like not be a hoe, or not be too loud, or, you know, certain things like that. So just the good girl label. Rather than just being a person, being a woman, you know, growing up, learning things, making mistakes, being taught certain stuff, you're just taught to be a good girl. So now you're facing the pressures of trying to fall under what is considered a good girl, and not fall under anything that's considered like a bad girl, or a whore, or somebody who's too easy, or too loud, or too, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me sit my line. Okay, so I guess we could start off by saying, what defines a good girl? Like, what exactly would a good girl be? Typically, according to society, a good girl would be a girl who listens, a girl that is smart, a girl who doesn't, I don't want to say show too much attention. A girl who doesn't accept too much attention from boys. This is like a young girl. That's how I'm saying boys. Just like a girl who's obedient, soft, you know, smart, not too outspoken, and not too easy when it comes to men. So when we're born, do you feel like we're just born knowing that? Like, do you feel like you're just born, like, you know, knowing how to be the perfect girl, or knowing how to follow society's standards as far as what a perfect girl is? Or do you feel like some stuff you kind of have to bump your head and realize why you need to be that way? Like, especially in this time, like, times are really different. I just want to talk about, like, one more label. I guess success, like being successful, is a good one, because that's like a tough one for men and women, honestly. Like, I feel like we're both kind of pressured about success, so we can talk about that label, success. So what exactly would be a successful person according to today's standards? Let's see, let me sip my wine again. So, according to, this wine gets better and better every sip that I take. I just want to say that. At first it was kind of like tart and dry, but now that I've been sipping on it, it's actually getting sweeter, because I feel like my tongue is already coated with it, so it's like pretty sweet. It's not bitter anymore. Okay, so success. Success is another label that I think is something that puts a lot of pressure on us, away from just being a regular person, being a person, focusing on being a human being, you know, growing, learning, trying new things, stepping out the box, you know, just being you. Because this, especially now, like with this whole pandemic thing happening, and like us going into a recession, and times got real hard. Like, times got real hard real fast, so I feel like the success factor or the success label is really pushed. Like I feel like it's really like the pressure is really on because we're kind of in like a sink or swim kind of society right now. So rather than the thing where I feel like we get it misconstrued though with the label versus the actual like being successful is we still look at the media. We're still looking at influencers and trying to measure up to what we think success looks like rather, oh excuse me, trying to measure up to what success looks like rather than just taking the steps that we have to take to actually be successful. So for example, I feel like today, like in society, success looks like, again, you know, the influencer luxury lifestyle, the cars, the house, the entrepreneur, oh my gosh, the entrepreneur business. I ain't never seen so many entrepreneurs in my life until now, and I feel like it's just crazy because I feel like it's crazy how influential the media is, because going to work and getting some hours and having a job and getting a steady paycheck has become frowned upon, which is really strange because that's actually way easier than being an entrepreneur. Like having to get up every single day, not having a day off, not having any help, not really, these days, not really having any direction, because a lot of people are just seeing certain career paths and being like, oh, this looks really cool, I want to dive into that because I think it's a get-rich-quick scheme. Absolutely not. Entrepreneurship is stressful as hell, okay? Like, it's not an easy task. It's something that you could, listen, you could go from making $35,000 to $45,000 to $65,000 to $100,000 in a 10-year span if you are working in a field that you take the time to master, go to work every day, get them paychecks, you know what I mean, and you do your job really well and you keep getting promoted and things like that. But at the same time, you may not have as much time for your family and, you know, the stuff that we kind of chase that comes with being free and being an entrepreneur. But you can do that stuff easy, you know, within like a 10 to 20 year span, depending on how good you're doing your job, depending on how much you're willing to change companies and stuff like that to make sure you're getting paid well and all that. There's a whole, that's a whole other ball game. Like there's so much that goes into that. But within a 10 year span, you can go from making that $35,000 a year to making $100,000 a year. Versus being an entrepreneur in a 10-year span, you can go from making $35,000 a year to making $25,000 a year to making $45,000 a year to having a real good year where you make $65,000 to making $100,000 in a month. Then the next month you make nothing. Like it's just a gamble. Like it's like a gamble every single year, and you're really banking on yourself versus banking on a full. Like a full functioning company that's going to pay you what they told you they were going to pay you regardless, no matter what. You can come to work and have a bad day, you come to work and have a good day, you still get the same check for the hours that you put in. Versus if you're an entrepreneur and you're doing it all by yourself, you're betting on yourself, you have to promote yourself, you got to play so many roles, you know what I mean? And these days, for some reason, like being an entrepreneur has fallen under the success label. So like you're successful if you're a person that has a nice car, a nice house, has your own successful business, a get rich quick situation. Dang, what the hell's coming? Excuse that, I don't know what's going on, but I didn't want to try to talk through it because I know I'm gonna hear that. But yeah, so like this is the get rich quick stuff, and I feel like that's why scamming is such a thing right now. Oh my goodness, because everybody wants that get rich quick situation. Everybody want to be rich right now, something for nothing, you know. And that's what people look at entrepreneurship and success as. It's just like an overnight boom, and that's not what it is. Like social media just makes it look that way, and that's not at all what it is. So these are labels that I feel like really put tough pressures on us. Like people are losing their houses, their cars, their wife. People be messing up their whole life trying to measure up to something that they seen on social media that's not really measurable in the way that they're thinking. Like, you still gotta make a plan. You still have to strategize and make sure that that's gonna work for you. You cannot just believe that you're gonna, boom, hop into certain industries and you're gonna be rich. That's not realistic. So that's it. I don't want to make this super long because I'm out, you guys. I really just wanted to come and speak to y'all briefly about labels, and share with me in the comments, you know, what y'all think. If y'all think that I should talk about another label next week, because I'll still add that on. Next week I want to really talking about just pain and turning pain into purpose and being present in your life, like being grateful for what you have right now, being present, and not being stuck in your pain, but using your pain to create purpose, or to, you know, put that energy toward the purpose. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. But if you have another label that you really want me to talk about, or that y'all want to talk about with me, feel free to leave it in the comments. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys like this. I know it was kind of short, but this is my first one on Wednesday, like I said. I'm not real prepared, but I was excited to just get y'all some content and get it out to y'all, because I didn't want to keep on telling you week after week after week that I was going to drop something and not drop it. So let me know what y'all think about these topics. Make sure you share your opinion in the comments for sure. Give me some more suggestions. Definitely suggest me another wine for next week. I will be tasting and advertising my favorite, which is Apothic Red. That's my favorite right now. So if y'all have a better semi-red wine that y'all know about, let me know so that I can try it, and I might trade it out. Oh, that's what I think I want to do every week. I'm gonna keep this here. I'm gonna make it like I'm gonna make it like a wine champion. Like, if something knock this out, then I'll keep that, you know, in the background for my fallback. So whatever I feel like is the best wine that I taste every week, I'll make it my fallback, and it'll stay the fallback until I find a better one. So if y'all know any semi-reds, those are my favorites. Please suggest it to me. Suggest me any white wines that you really like too, because I'm not a white wine drinker, so those are the ones that I really need suggestions on. But this week, again, I was drinking Dark Horse Cabernet, and it's bold complex oak. Oh, that's exactly what it tastes like. Like, literally, that description is perfect. But that's what it was this week. Next week, I will be drinking this with you guys, plus whatever is suggested in these comments. So make sure y'all suggest me something real good. Okay? Thank y'all for watching. And again, I want to thank Lace Beauty Bar for sponsoring my very first set of the week. My first Rundown Wednesday week and my first set. I'm very excited about this because it looks better than what I actually had planned. I just wanted this nature and stuff in the background, because I've been really into it lately, y'all. I don't know. Maybe it's the influence. Maybe it's the media, because everybody been into the leafy stuff. So, but I've really been feeling it too myself. Nature and like old things, those are my favorite things. So I want to kind of try to stick with like that every week. But every week I want to give y'all a new set. Sometimes I might repeat, so, you know, but every week I do want to give y'all a new set. So if you have set suggestions, like, you know, a really pretty, like, naturey place that will be fitting for this, suggest that in the comments as well, and I'll take your suggestion. But yeah, really suggest those lines and those topics, because I have a few topics planned, but once I run out of those, I'm gonna need some more. So I want to make sure y'all keep coming back and subscribe and share with your friends and tell them to come watch every week. Thanks. Bye.